Okay, it looks like we are live everywhere now. By which I mean on YouTube and Twitch. So let's get started here. Basically, I'm just going to pick up right where I left off. So last time I was working on the tutorial system, and I got something basically working. And I haven't actually checked off what I had done there. So let me just go straight across to here, and let's have a look what was working. So basically, I've got the test button. Let's just hit play the game to get that menu out of the way. We've got level 4 here now. That didn't used to say that. But I've got this test button, and that gets us based on our. Where was I putting it? Manager is current level, and I think it was in my UI manager. A page canvas for the level number and other things, and I've got these 2 tutorial levels. What was the test button using? Was that test button actually just had a thing on it? So let's see, that test button is, oh here, yeah, so it's just sitting there. So I've got the next tutorial level, which is just random bits of text that are positioned, since that's most of what the tutorial system should be. And then custom trees, which I haven't got to. So I intend to, let me try that again. I intend to continue with that today. So where was I up to? What am I doing? Who am I? Where am I? What is this? All questions that need answering. But let's start by having a quick look at the version control history and just roughly what I did. It says get basic tutorial text display working. So that seems like what I've done. So I've defined these couple of tutorial level assets, which is what is being pulled from here, which comes from here. I've got a to do to put them somewhere else. And I was having a bit of a think about how to handle sort of inserting the tutorial levels. Do I just have them override specific level numbers, or do I have certain level ranges and the tutorial levels defined in some kind of data structure that describes it? A lot of potential for scope creep here. So I think just to keep things simple, I'll just have a set of tutorial levels first, and then go straight into the regular levels after that. Otherwise, I'll end up spending a bunch more time on it than I mean to, and I can always come back another time and improve that. So no reason to let myself get scope crept. It's one of the being so busy that I have to wake up early is one of the things that slows down in my game development quite a lot. But possibly the main thing that slows it down is just letting the scope balloon out and trying to do a lot more than I had initially planned. That might have happened a bit with the stats system, because initially I hadn't really thought about adding stats, and it was just sort of an idea, I think, that it popped into my head when I was thinking about what systems would be good. It does mean I can easily handle adding thingies, achievements to the game if I want to. But this is meant to be just quite a small scoped game so that I can finish it and get on with things. So text elements in positions with dimensions. I have that. I haven't got it based on level number so far. Now, tree constraints, photos, arrows. Yes, those are all parts of a tutorial level. So I just set my current level back to 1 here, and let's just grab a level 1 and see what that looks like. Oh. I think I'll be yawning this whole one. I did not get as early a night as I should have. I could blame other people, but it's mainly my own fault. So here we go. This is a level. This looks like a level 2. So there's level 1. Oh yeah, just 1 slot. Okay, and that photo could be in random positions. So that's one of the things. I think I need to have level 1. Let's just tilt this. Yeah, index 0. So let's press that button. Now I could do a real level 1 tutorial text. This is just getting the system in place, so don't necessarily need to make this perfect. But what I do want to do is make it look like a real tutorial. And what will it actually say? Script that and move it. Make it more like this, I guess, and then change the text on that. What I actually want it to say is something like, put this photo in here. Good, that text element is not blocking my click on this. Oh, because this goes in front of it. Fair enough. So I want that there. And ideally that whole tree would be down a bit lower. That's not something that I'm set up right now to change. But maybe I'll work on that too. Yeah, I'll make sure not to get too caught up with the details. That'll do actually, because I could put another bit of text that's sort of intro. Complete the tree. There we go. I want that, and I also want a arrow. So um, a line. What's going on with this line? Is it just literally sitting behind there? Oh, there it is. Just here. Pointing into the page. Ah, that music loop. I think I have it manually restarting the loop and doesn't need to. Since I have only one song. And the timing's just slightly out. It starts the next iteration of the loop and then restarts it. Okay, so I'll look in the game and grab one of those connections, which has lines. Let's grab that line there. We've got this line renderer. Let's copy that. First of all, and then I'll go back to my little line here on my page canvas and paste that into there. Now it is in the same position as the other line. This is cool. I like this, like viewing a 2D thing in 3D exploded view. Anyway, let's take that line. Now moving the line object doesn't actually move where the line is drawn. And that is because these positions are what determines where the line is drawn. So let me just reset this. And see if I can just edit those positions. Just put that back into 2D view. That adds things to the line. I thought there was a way to edit the vertices. Like by hand. do. Let's see. Line. Edit points. It's not the most intuitive component. Okay. Scene editing mode. Yeah. Three. None. Edit points and create points. Okay, so that's edit points. Okay, so we've got two buttons, and we're currently on create points, are we? No, right now it's on none. If I do that, it is now on edit points, is it? Oh, did that? Ah. So we're able to select points and move them. We are, okay. Getting somewhere here. So that's the start of the line. That's the end of the line. That's the middle of the line. Sort of want this to be like a swoopy down arrow. Is that something the line renderer can handle? Let me just try. Define a width value in a curve to control the width of your line. Okay, yeah, that's not making the line do anything. Okay, let me just see if we've got draw a curved line. Point, maybe T, interpolating. So this person has applied some equations to get curve points. Is that something that line renderer will call? Looks like no. What about here? So yeah, I guess that those equations are just meant for generating the set of points, which can then be fed into a line renderer. When's this from? 2018. Mm-hmm. Free utility. Line smoother. Interesting. Well, this looks to be given away for free. A zip file with some things. This is from 2016. Wow. So this was a while ago. It's possible that something might have been included. Oh, I see. It's being simplified. Anyway, I don't really want to spend all day trying to make a Nice curve. Oh, why don't I just... That's with none, that's with that one. Right. Let's add points. I just added a bunch of points. No points. Interesting. Okay, so I'll edit this just to bring that point way closer here. And this one right up here. And that one right over here. It's not rendering very nicely because that is the part at 0. Now set it to add points. And this is actually roughly right, but I need to rotate the whole thing. Okay, so if I put on edit points, can I now like rotate the whole thing? This rotates the transform, which does nothing to those points, does it? Yeah, no. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what these points are. I'm going to have to draw them in code anyway because I'll need to sort of use the position of this as a base. Unless every line is just identical, which they could be. Like I can actually see those points though. I think I'm going to make it a bit more like do like a control click to add a point. Alt. No. Also, I'm trying to make this an arrow. So far, I don't have any kind of arrowhead on it. So let me see if I can add some points to make an arrow. Might go like to here, then go like that. I'll go to point editing mode. Like that way a bit. This is not in any way filled, is it? That one. That one. Looks horrible. So that's interesting. Maybe we draw Hmm. Something. Can I make it thicker at the end? I'm sure there's a library that would make all this quite easy. Let me just unwrap that a little. I need to change some of these constraints on the curves, number of vertices, that sort of thing. Just one little triangle here. I'll just keep adding points until it looks about right. So let's put one here, ish, and then like there, and there. And then edit those until it gets close to what I want. Let's just get them all on the same plane. This point here can go to the back. Yeah, sort of in line with that one. Now, what do we got here? We got that there. I'm actually fine with it looking a little bit scribbly on the page like it does. Because that is sort of the aesthetic. Ideally, I'll probably try and get a different font. Going for this. There. Seems like it's trying really hard not to overlap there. That's good enough. I'm going to use that as my set of points. I say good enough, so that looks almost good enough. The curve looks a little bit jagged, so I'll double the number of points in there. Can I duplicate some points here? Add about 7. So I'll set that to size 22 and accidentally collapse it. So this was the last point. Wonder, could I possibly copy these down? No, apparently not. Not bulk copy. I'll just do that by hand. Sometimes it feels like things are quicker just to quickly manually do something. rather than try and write all this code for it. I'm going to delete these because I really don't trust myself to get these right. I possibly have already got one wrong, who knows. Now what are we up to here? I didn't actually keep track of how many points I have in the array. I feel like I could spend a portion of a day and make a more usable line editing UI here. Okay, now we've got to the point where we're here and we want to start adding points in between. So I'm going to just do this. Just shift them down this far. Keeping every other point so it'll be easy to tell where I'm up to. Yes, I very much get the impression that Line Renderer is a very basic thing, and anything even like a little bit less basic is like not what it's intended to handle. I think like just it's meant to just be called by other code that'll do all of the other things. Okay, and we're going to separate these out. Got that one. Now which one did I get? Okay, good. These are sort of stacked on top of each other. I want that one to shift down a bit further. Is that janky audio loop? I just put that on here. Yep. So I think I'm going to write code that moves these points anyway, so probably should have just gone with start and end and done a Bezier curve or similar. Because that would be a bit more flexible anyway. And possibly get a nicer curve than me just manually dragging points around. Alright, I think that has been thrown out a little bit somehow. But yeah. Well, that looks like an arrow. So I've got these points, but I'll need to transpose them to whatever position I'm looking at here. So I guess given that, the point is sort of here. Okay, it's actually showing the widget there, but I think that's our position just there. And oh, that's because we've got a vector transform on a canvas. So if I move that, look at that. It's like that. We've got a position, we've got our rotation around Z. Set to 0. So now Interesting. Got a width and height here. This is my vector transform thingy, isn't it? The reason why I'm doing this is because I should be able to maybe use this stuff to figure out where these points should move. Arrow line, sure. Okay, let's get this going. Need a script. Oh, geez. I was about to pause the game, and that would have messed some stuff up. I would have lost this, for one thing. So first of all, let me grab the tutorial text here, and I'll just lock that in and grab myself another inspector. Yeah, just a new tab, I think. Edit. Inspector tab. Just pop that one down the bottom here, because I want to grab my tutorial level 1 and just make sure that the text matches that tutorial text. That's locked onto the line, isn't it? You could never have too many inspector tabs, eh? Alright, let's unlock that one. We'll grab our tutorial text there. Lock that one in. Okay. And then here I'll grab that. Lock that. And finally I'll grab the actual text here. Okay. I don't need that one. Actually, the tutorial texts. Just unlock that, so it'll become that. And I'll lock it again. And just here, I want that arrow. There we go. And lock that. Now everything's locked. Yeah, so that text goes in here. Definitely need a better editing experience. There, and our position here. Even if I just had something where I'm editing the text on here, if I had a button added which would copy it into the selected tutorial text element, that would still be better than what I just had to do there. Okay, so that is in there now. So that should save our tutorial level text. Now, as for this line, I'm going to copy this. Or maybe copy that whole thing here. Copy. And hopefully I can paste that back in here and not lose it. Cool. Well, I got part of it. Doesn't look like it has the material. Okay, I'll leave that tutorial levels inspector there, but I'll just unlock that one. So I just pop that one right down the bottom there, and just close this one. So now I've got that locked in down there without losing this. Okay. Yeah, what's happened that has led that to be misaligned? That's probably the position of the page canvas. And something I can fix easily. Color. It looks like the color I want. Apply active color space. Don't know. Materials. Missing material. Let's grab our ink line material. So I think that's what we had. Okay, so now we have an arrow here. And let's just make that a prefab. Okay, and let's make a script for that. Guess that's really part of our tutorial system, which apparently I don't have something for. Have a scriptable object for tutorial level. This underscore project directory is something I was doing before, I should still be doing, and I just forgot when I started this project, and haven't got around to moving anything around. Yes, this is arrow. Arrow line renderer. And we'll actually create a directory for that. For tutorial system. Pop that in there. Along with this tutorial level scriptable object definition. Hopefully Unity will handle that. Okay. Pop that onto here. These fix the compile errors. Okay, I'll just fix those by waiting for Unity to compile that. Oh, where's the old pair of socks here? Okay, does that fix the compile errors? Haha, fix them. Programming genius. Hold on. Really? I just asked you to open a file. How long do I have to hold on for? Apparently 10 seconds. Oh, okay. Yeah. So apparently, because I closed and opened Unity, looks like all these files are getting set to have Windows line endings. And I want them all to have Unix line endings. Yes, I do want to reload it. All right, cool. So basically, I don't think I want any of those, or maybe I want one of them. This is just take the there we go. So that's what we basically want to do at some point. Let's make that public so that we can trigger it. Okay, so we're going to have a line renderer, yes. It's going to be private, even if we don't say that. So let's not bother saying that. And so it's going to have a line renderer. We're going to have a set positions. Now I'm actually going to write reset positions around 0 thing, which will get this line to where I should have drawn it, and then that'll be a good basis for positioning it elsewhere. So yeah, basically set the position to 0. Okay, so I think that's going to have let me just get this line renderer in there so that it will make sense, and I can think about it a little while I do that. Okay, so here's my arrow line. It needs the line renderer from itself here. So there's 0, and there's my line over there. And let me just adjust that transform a little, just so that it's sort of snug up against the points of the line. I'd actually use those two corners as the start and end position of the arrow. Right there. like so. There we go. So now I got my X and Y. And width and height. Now these are centered or not. Yeah, that's just for anchors and so on. Okay, so it looks like this is how we're positioned on this canvas. Oh, it's actually anchored on the center of the canvas. With a pivot. That's just where it will rotate around, so that I guess possibly matters a little. Well, that's not what I want to do. That's cool. Why am I not on that arrow line? Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, so there's my pivot right there. If I were to, can I rotate this? I think I need to hold down something. No. Scale tool, rect tool, transform tool. Maybe this. Yeah, so that can scale, can rotate. And I think I want to be able to support that. Not on that again. Anyway, let me just check something here. If I were to move this to be at 0, yeah, the center is at 0. Because that corner there is, yeah, I'm looking at those numbers for the Rect transformer, and the positions are half of the width and height. So that makes sense. If I undo that now, but if I were to move this pivot, if I moved that pivot to be at 1, 0, then positioning that there would put it at 0, 0. So that's where the arrow is pointing to. And I think that's more what I want, because then I can rotate around to the point that it's pointing to. So I think I'll do that. And just zoom in here to make sure I've got that in the right, about the right spot. I think I sort of have. It's doing some kind of snapping. Let me hold down Control. That turns off the snapping. I can get it just right. Probably more precise than I need to be. Okay. So now we've got this. And now I'm sort of ready to transpose that. Is that going to make any difference? Like that. It really doesn't matter. Why am I messing about with those values? Okay, so basically what I want to do is take my current position to 0, 0 vector. And then I want to add that vector to each point. And that will get me where I want to be. Vector 2, so 2. Do a vector 3. There we go. So move the arrow pointing at new position. Okay, so initially this is just going to do set positions with a vector 3.0, and then these things will happen in here. So first of all, what is the offset? Well, just think for a second. If we are here and all the points are here, that is the vector. We want this vector to move the points, so it's going to be the opposite. Transform is a rect transform. We want the negative of that. Can you do that? Do we have some points? Get positions, set position, none positions. So it's definitely called positions. Yeah. So we need like a for loop. Based on, yeah, num positions. That will do for a for loop. And get that position. At the index. Add the offset onto that and set the position back to that. But I also see get positions, which will get me all of them. So we end up with slightly nicer code if we did it like that. Get the positions of all vertices in the line. Okay, that's an out array that we can feed it. It's going to return us an int with the number of positions. Yeah, and let's not bother with that. What's your problem with this? Position count instead. Okay. I don't know why it's telling me to do that. Oops. Rapid align. Interesting. I'm getting this deprecated warning, but that isn't actually showing me any potential fixes. Oh, geez. Time has certainly flown. Not very focused this morning. That's what happens when I need more sleep. Well, I almost made a line. Anyways, it says use position count. So I will. It's just a property version, I guess. Well, the other one might have been a property. Doesn't matter. Yes, we're just getting each position, changing it by that offset. And it'd be nice if I could just invoke a method in the inspector. That'd be a really useful thing to learn. Make a custom draw. Custom inspector button. This looks like the kind of thing. Someone was trying to do what I'm talking about here. Okay, they recommend reading that. The samples, these are samples. This is JavaScript, I think. No, it's not. C#. It says so right there. I've just seen a lot more lambdas in JavaScript than C#. Oh, it looks like this might explain it all. This is something that I want to brush up on and learn more, so I'll probably do this even though it's kind of overkill for updating this button. Inspector uses a property field control to display the properties of the car class. A custom property drawer to display the properties of the tire class. Yep. Before you start, get familiar with 7 different things. So they've got a mode behavior, custom inspector script. So we've got something with a custom editor. We've got an editor script with custom editor on it. And overwrite create inspector GUI. Turn a new visual element. This wouldn't take that long. Let me try this. So let's add a script here that is called underscore arrow line renderer inspector. And let me just grab those docs over to there. And yeah, let's set Unix line endings on here. And which is which? I need to view this in a way that shows me the end of these. That's the inspector one. Okay. That was not a useful thing to do. I was trying to switch to those docs. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's get rid of that stuff there and change that to be an editor. Using Unity error editor. Using UI elements and both of those, okay. Right, so this is going to be a custom editor for this particular type arrow line renderer. Add this. So that's what we can do to get the default. But instead, let's just copy that exactly. Let's do this as well. Okay. Should fix that. Okay. So that should basically work now. When it finishes compiling. Airline renderer. And we got multi-object editing not supported. I need to finish up, and I'm not sure why that's not doing that. I think I might need to rebuild something or something else. I'm going to deselect that for starters and go back to this. Oh, there we go. Custom inspector is working. So that's nice. Yeah, cool. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I will need to come back to this. Because it looks like we're creating a thing using a UI builder. Binding things and so on. So I'll need to continue with this later. All right, better stop the stream there. Thank you for watching. Voices running out. Thank you for watching, and